I actually think of curiosity as a practice, and it's something that we strive to do, and yet we don't always do it. And it can be really powerful when we admit that we don't do it. And so I think of this practice, I actually liken it to meditation. It looks very easy, yet it's quite hard to do, right?
I think it is so important to recognize there's never only one way of looking at something. Even if we've been accustomed to that view for a long time, there's always more than meets the eye. And so it can be such an interesting process to just ask questions about something, try to see it from a different angle, try to discover another use for an everyday object, for instance, and see what comes out of that and start to interrogate your thoughts.
How do I accept that for me to be right doesn't mean that person has to be wrong? And for them to be right doesn't mean that I have to be wrong. We can actually be, both things can be true at the same time. And that takes a lot of mental energy, actually.
Absolutely. We talk about, especially in the cultures program, we talk about cultural lenses, like a pair of glasses that you put on, and then you see the world in a certain way. And if you can just like change glasses or be aware that people wear different glasses, you just see the world a little different. And I like the distinction between empathy and compassion as well. They have a lot to do. They're related to each other, but they're not the same thing. But I think curiosity really is the starting point of that. Without curiosity, you can neither develop empathy nor compassion. And what Julie says, even when you think about respect and how to show respect, is so different, not just for us personally, but also culturally, that if you just approach a situation with whatever your background is, you can absolutely achieve the other thing, the opposite of what you wanted to achieve.
In groups, if there was a critical mass of people who were curious, they could actually uplift the morale of a team. And then the inverse is true. If there are a critical mass of people who are just, this is what we need to do, and this is what success looks like, it could actually take down the morale of the team, because there are actually a lot of bystanders in groups. There are a lot of people who are just, I want to see what the dynamics are going to be, and then they will go with that. And so that's when I realized, wow, how important it is to help people practice curiosity in the workplace, because this actually affects our ability to be effective.
Yeah, I find all too often not knowing something could be perceived as vulnerability. I love, Daniela, what you said earlier about not knowing it yet. Like, it's true, we can find out together, we can collaborate and do all of these things. And it's not being vulnerable. Well, it is being vulnerable, admitting that we don't know it. It's not something wrong. It's just being human. We don't all know everything. Like, that's just how we work, you know?